and welcome to Sotavento on the Canary Island of Fuerteventura. Well, as you can see, the island appears to be a 100-mile-long lump of the Sahara Desert that's just broken away and drifted off into the Atlantic. You're probably absolutely right, but Sotavento also has its good points because it provides a unique geographical location which creates incredibly strong and consistent thermal winds during the hot summer months, and it's these winds that have drawn speed sailors from all over the world to this remote holiday spot. In the show, we'll be seeing a series of slalom races and a speed sailing course in what we hope will simply provide the fastest type of speed sailing in the world. So the scene's set, and we'll be seeing 5 divisions of 10 men fighting for the right to contend the title and pick up the £5,000 in prize money. The man responsible for discovering this site is Windsurf Management's race organiser, Julian Kendall.
We needed a site where we could find some really guaranteed wind. Okay, we're in a remote spot of the world, but look at it. We've got sun, blue skies, wind, which we need for windsurfing. The top sailors in the world are here. We're breaking world records. We're getting fantastic action on the water. What more could you want?
Well, the race is run over a downwind M-shaped course with the race officer's boat moored about 30 metres off the beach, with them giving a 2-minute and 1-minute warning for the water start. The competitors will be racing around all of the 5 buoys, and the first to cross the finish line wins. The first race of the ladies' final was an extremely competitive affair, with number 3, the French speed champion Elisabeth Coquelle, taking it in fine style from the Danish newcomer Britt Dunkerbeck. Britt knew that she had to win the second race to force the deciding third leg, and the last mark, with the 2 girls neck and neck, there is a double spill, but Britt manages to recover first and hangs on to win, so forcing the deciding third leg. So for the introductions and race commentary, we join our man on the beach, Ian Hughes.
Thanks very much, Terry. The excitement down on the beach here is absolutely amazing. The deciding leg between the women's final, all 6 competitors at the ready. That's Paul Wickens from the UK, the speed sailor. She's been sailing for about 2 years. From France, Bibette Coquelle, the French speed champion. And from Britain, Lucy Woodward. From the United States of America, the oldest competitor, that's Paddy Whitcomb there. And alongside her, the very young Britt Dunkerbeck from Gran Canaria, the local girl. And from France, Françoise Zambert. She's got a brand new Z-boom which she'll be trying out. So onto the course, and the 1-minute sequence well and truly underway. Looking out towards the sea there, where we can look at the wind conditions, around about 18 to 20 knots, I would imagine, from where I'm standing on the beach here. The 1-minute sequence well and truly underway. As all the competitors climb on their boards, they've got to get over that start line as soon as the flag drops. There they go, and it's a woman-on-woman competition between Britt Dunkerbeck and Bibette Coquelle. Look out for the F2 sail of Britt Dunkerbeck. As the wind picks up, off they go. And from where we are standing on the beach here, it looks as though Britt Dunkerbeck has got the lead. A very important start of the race to get clean winds. If you get a good start to the race, then by the rest of the race it certainly is a little bit easier. But the pressure's on Britt Dunkerbeck. There she goes around the first buoy. Very clean indeed, very impressive lead already. And Paddy Whitcomb in second place with François Zambert in third place. So it's Gran Canaria from the United States of America, from France, making up the top 3. The crowd going absolutely wild here on the beach. They're all cheering Britt Dunkerbeck on. Coming up towards the beach, the wind conditions pretty favourable at the moment. So just here closer to the beach, the wind's a little bit less. And a great sailing position from this young girl, Britt Dunkerbeck, the local girl who sails here and competes here a lot of times. But this is her first international competition. There she goes, jibing around buoy number 2. Just flicks the sail around through 180. Round the outside, there goes Paddy Whitcomb going wild. François Zambert popping through on the inside. The pressure's really on these girls, and Bibette Coquelle, the French speed champion, just dropping her sail into the water. Oh, she'll be furious about that. It's between her and Britt Dunkerbeck. So away they go. Bibette, in the meantime, makes a very quick recovery. Britt Dunkerbeck still in the lead. Round she goes, using her F2 sail. Sail number 66, Paddy Whitcomb from the United States of America, and François Zambert in third place. Round they go. And the pressure's really on these girls. Britt Dunkerbeck has been doing very, very well over the past couple of races. Look at that lead that she's got. Absolutely amazing. She's got a dual nationality, incidentally. Lives in Denmark, or should I say born in Denmark, but of course lives here in Gran Canaria and spends a lot of time training. Her younger brother, by the way, is the great hotshot, Bjorn Dunkerbeck. He's been doing very, very well in the World Cup series at the moment. As they make their way around, once again, Britt Dunkerbeck in the lead, Paddy Whitcomb second, and Bibette Coquelle in third place. And we've certainly got to take our hats off to Julian Kendall, the course designer, who's done extremely well to find this great location in Gran Canaria. who's got the course well and truly sorted out. Nice short legs so the competitors can really go for it attitude. In the lead still, sail number 32, that's Brett Dunkerbeck, still in the lead, and a very impressive lead that she's got. Sail number 66, Paddy Whitcomb in second place, and third, Brett Coquel, as they round that fifth and final buoy with the final leg back towards the beach. And we can see the very impressive lead that Brett Dunkerbeck has got. So family and mum and dad are going absolutely wild, jumping up and down on the beach here. They'll be really pleased for her. She's done so well over the past couple of days, and certainly a great force to be reckoned with. She's doing very, very well indeed. So the whole beach going completely wild as Brett Dunkerbeck, the young local girl, wins this race, and she's bouncing along all over back to the beach. She's really, really pleased with that. Second position, Paddy Whitcomb and Brett Coquel coming up to take third place.
So now we move on to the men's finals. And competition all week has been pretty fierce for the right to contest these last three races, and many world-class sailors have been left in the lower divisions. In the first race, Mark Woods from England won decisively. In fact, another win in the speed race would start the championship for him. So the atmosphere on the beach is very tense.
Thank you very much, Terry. You join us for the finals of the second heat of the men's finals, the men's briefing with the race officer Steve Schreier, and just running through the competitors, that's Rudy Mader from Switzerland with his Mistral, alongside Dave Perks from the UK, sailing for Alpha Tushingham. That's Nino Navarro from Spain, and also the Spaniard Diego Penalva. In front of Diego, the cool Californian giant Fred Haywood, sail number 13. Let's hope that that's not too unlucky for him. And he gives us once again one of his familiar Hawaiian windsurfing salutes. That's Bernardo Niz from Lanzarote, number 9. The young Bob Cunningham from the UK, number 41. And of course the most popular of the team, Mark Woods from the UK. He was the winner in the first heat, sailing for Tiga Pride, and that's JP Searay from New Caledonia. So all 9 competitors preparing for the start. Man on man, Fred Haywood just checks his watch. It's not time for lunch, he's just counting down the seconds for the start of this second heat of the finals. All 9 competitors getting the ready. You can see the wind conditions at the moment, around about 20 to 25 knots of winds, all going up towards the start boats with a white flag up in the air as soon as that flag drops. There goes Dave Perks, he's taking a bit of a flyer. The yellow and orange sailor Perks, down goes the flag, away they go, and Perks took a real flyer. The yellow and orange sail of Dave Perks did a very, very good start indeed, but the start boat, the flag is waving once again, and that looks as though Fred Haywood actually jumped the start, so he's going to have to return back once again. That's a bit of bad luck for Fred Haywood. He won't be too pleased about that, I can tell you. So around the first buoy, there goes Dave Perks. Perks, he falls, he loses it into the water, just dug the clue into the water, and a complete wipeout. In the meantime, Mark Woods picks up the lead from the first buoy, coming back towards the beach. Second place, Nino Navarro from Spain. So these two guys having a really good personal battle between themselves. And third place, JP Searay. So those are the top 3, Britain from Spain and JP Searay in third place. Mark Woods, in the meantime, coming up to take buoy number 2, flat out towards the beach. A great stance, a great sailing position. Completely flat out. Look at the speed this guy's getting. Close on his tail. That's Nino Navarro closing right in. Woodsy flicks the sail through 180, and Nino does a little better jibe, just comes in a bit tighter, pumps the sail to get the board back on the plane once again, and the crowd going absolutely wild here on the beach. They're all cheering him on. JP Searay in third place, taking up the top 3 positions, but Woodsy sailing for Tiga Pride at the moment, flat out once again towards the third buoy, out to sea there. Wind conditions absolutely favourable for this short 5-buoy slalom. Again, Julian Kendall's done an excellent job of designing this course. There goes Navarro slipping through on the inside, both the guys pumping their sails furiously to get the board back on the plane once again, and back towards the 4th buoy closest towards the beach. Now the pressure's really on Woodsy. He's quite a cool character. He spends a lot of time psyching himself up and getting his attitude, his frame of mind absolutely right for these races. Thoroughly enjoyed the racing for the past couple of days, but Navarro hot on his heels. He knows that if Woodsy makes any mistake at all, he'll certainly come through and pick up that lead. So here comes Woodsy, great sail position once again. He's got the gap closed between the sail and the board to maximise the board speed. Flat out, he'll stand up a little bit upright, takes his foot out the back strap, flicks that sail through 180, there he goes, and still retains the lead. In the meantime, a very impressive jibe from Nino Navarro, again pumping that sail. He's certainly putting the pressure on Woodsy. So these top two guys, personal battle between Great Britain and also from Spain as well. There they go, out towards that fifth and final buoy, and it could be anybody's race still. Woodsy keeping it fairly cool, calm and collected as that fifth and final buoy. There they go. Nino Navarro closing up just a little bit, and Woodsy has a bit of a problem. Woodsy's slowing right down. Navarro pumps that sail like mad and takes him on the inside. The beach got absolutely wild. The crowds on the beach going completely crazy about that. All the local Spaniards really loving this, and poor old Woodsy, obviously some sort of problem. He's going to be really mad at himself, is Woods. So Navarro claims the lead on the fifth and final leg as they race back towards the beach, and Navarro will be fairly happy about that. He knew that all he had to do was keep the pressure on Mark Woods. Woodsy just trails his backhand in the water in bitter disappointment as Nino Navarro from Spain goes through the wind, punches the air in delight. He'll really be happy about that. Woods in second place, and sail number 43 in third place. There they go. And the rest of the team making their way up towards the finish line. Whoops, bit of a wipe out there. One of the guys obviously caught his skeg in the line there of the finish buoy, and Mark Woods comes back up to the beach to explain exactly what happened.
What do you think about the third race?
I've got to, well, basically I've got to win it. It's a very tough competition. It's between me and Nino now, the Spanish champion. So my nerves are going.
Okay. Anyone else you fear at all?
Nobody else can win it. Now the point system works out that it's only between me and Nino. So you know, the best sailor wins.
And tell me what happened on that mark, on that last outside mark.
Oh, I was approaching it in the lead. All I had to do was get around that mark, and I would have won the competition, but the board span out, which means the fin comes out of the water and the board goes sideways. And he got me. He went inside me. That's life.
Going into the final race, how do you see it?
Oh, it's really hard to say that. I'm getting nervous now. I don't know. Depends how it's going to start. But I think Mark have a really good possibility for can win the race.
So here it is, the final race of the men's slalom of the Nabisco Slalom Championships. The wind round about 20 to 25 knots at the moment, as Nino Navarro said. The start is the most important part of this race, and nerves playing a very big part in this race. The flag is up. Watch that flag go down and see who's going to break clean from there. Away they go. Dave Perks. Dave Perks once again makes a very, very good start indeed. But in the meantime, Navarro falls. He's been so nervous this start of this race. He mentioned that he's well and truly psyched up. Very, very nervous indeed. So it's between him and Woodsy, and no doubt he'll be muttering a few Spanish words to himself about that. But in the meantime, out towards buoy one, there's Dave Perks, that familiar orange and yellow Tushingham sail. Dave Perks, one of the top funboard racing sailors from Great Britain, in the lead at the moment. JP Searay, sail number 43, second round that buoy, and Haywood in third position. But all the guys coming back towards the beach. A great picture as the guys and girls on the beach here taking plenty of photographs of these top windsurfers coming back towards the beach. Here they are. Dave Perks in the lead. Haywood coming up towards second place at the moment. Haywood pops through on the inside, just dips his body in, and Haywood just a tighter line in there, pumps his sail very quickly and just overtakes Dave Perks from Great Britain. So Haywood in the lead, this cool Californian. He's an Olympic class swimming champion. He's been sailing in Hawaii. He already holds quite a few speed sailing records. He was the first person to break the 30-knot speed barrier a couple of years ago at Weymouth, and already the holder of a number of speed titles. So Fred Haywood certainly knows a thing or two about speed sailing. Dave Perks in second place, and JP Searay in third place at the moment. So that's around buoy number 3. Coming back towards buoy number 4, Fred Haywood still in the lead. Quite an impressive lead over Dave Perks, but again the pressure's certainly on Fred Haywood. He's a real cool American character. He loves and spends a lot of time traveling around the world doing speed sailing, and as I mentioned, he's already the holder of a number of records and hoping to get some more records here at Fuerteventura on the islands in the Gran Canaries, or in the Canary Islands. Superb trade winds out here, an ideal windsurfing place. And in the meantime, there comes Dave Perks in second, and Mark Woods from nowhere. Woodsy had a bad start. He's claimed third place from Searay, but Searay says, hey, listen, chum, there's no way you're going to get past me. We're going to battle this thing out. Look at those guys go. The beach go absolutely wild between first and second, Haywood and Perks, and between Searay and Woods in third and fourth position. This really is great funboard racing, an excellent slalom race once again. The final race today, and the crowd going absolutely spare. In the meantime, Perksy takes it from Woods. He did the same trick than what Haywood did. Haywood in second place, rather. Dave Perks in first position, and Haywood falls. Haywood under pressure. So Perksy keeps the lead. Haywood under pressure fell at the fifth and final buoy. Who's it going to be between third and fourth place? This is incredible racing. Absolutely amazing. The final race, Dave Perks, well and truly in the lead. He's coming out to take the final buoy. All he's got to do now is just hang on there towards that finish line. And we're going to look out who's going to be in second and third position. Don't forget it's man on man between Nino Navarro and Woodsy. That's Sea Ray comes through. Haywood in second place. Mark Woods in third, and JP Sea Ray in fourth place. So the overall winner of this slalom championship, Mark Woods from Great Britain. He's the top amateur in Great Britain. He's beaten Nino Navarro to win the great purse of the Nabisco Slalom Championships. One of the top British funboard sailors, being congratulated by one of his teammates. Well done to Mark Woods from Great Britain. He'll be really pleased about that, and a lot of congratulations out on the beach, and I'm sure he'll be celebrating in style tonight.
Best event I've ever done.
And Nino, tell us what happened in that race. Tough race
Well, we were swimming on the start. I was swimming on the start. Me too.
Did you do the crawl or the backstroke?
Yes, I was looking the back of everybody, and then I become a little bit more, but I need some 300 meters more or can catch them.
So who came second then overall?
Perksy from England! Yay!
England whoops the US.
I know you're not very keen on second place, but what do you think?
It's a bit disappointing, but after the last
Spoken like a true Brit.
And so, with Nino Navarro blowing out, it's Britain's Dave Perks taking second place, leaving 21-year-old Mark Woods, the Nabisco 1986 Speed Slalom champion. So now the scene is set for the Speed Trials, windsurfing's blue-ribboned event. Out in front of the world rankings is Austria's Michael Puka, with a speed of 32.35 knots, set in Port Saint Louis in the south of France during 1985. Several windsurfers are snapping at his heels, but the ultimate barrier is a 6-year-old record held by the monster catamaran Crossbow, with her 36 knots set in Portland Harbour, England in 1980. One of the favourites to do well this week is American Fred Haywood. What are his thoughts?
I want to wait for the waves to come through. As the set comes through, it seems to pick up the speed of the wind a few knots, so I kind of hold back, and as soon as I see a good puff coming, I look around to check and see if there's a wave, and if there is, I wait a second or two, then go. So that's the plan, and basically wait for more wind, because if we get another 10 more knots of wind, all hell's going to break loose.
wiping out at speeds in excess of 40 miles an hour can be pretty dangerous. Mark Woods recovers from this spill, but it only goes to show just how close to the limit these sailors have to push in pursuit of that elusive 36 knots. The real story, though, is that Pascal Maka of France has made a quantum leap forward, increasing his speed by 3.5 knots to be the first windsurfer to break the 35-knot barrier, but more importantly, to be only half a knot away from Crossbow's all-time record.
It's an incredible speed because the old record was at 32.35, Michael Pusher held it, and I just broke it. It's crazy. This course is perfect. The water is smooth and the wind angle is perfect. I'm very happy to break this record. I think I'm very close from Crossbow record, and I think I can do that if the wind conditions comes again.
Now, what sort of board have you been using?
Oh, that board is Jimmy Lewis shape. It's a single concave with a double concave on the tail with a Jimmy Lewis fin. And the name of this board is Absolute. Absolute is a 36 knots record, and this name is Crossbow Killer number 2. And I want to beat Crossbow with that board, and I think I can do that.
Overnight, the wind has increased by 10 knots on the previous day and has swung around to a perfect 120 degrees offshore. The full moon has brought an extra high tide, which has flattened the waves on the course. At last, Crossbow's record might be there for the taking. The excitement is absolutely electric. Out on the course, Paula Wickens breaks her own British record, eclipsing the world record with a terrific run of 31.12 knots, but that only gives her 4th place. Patti Whitcomb also goes through the 30-knot barrier and records 31.66 knots for 3rd place, while French champion Elisabeth Coquelle clocks a blistering 32.80 knots, even exceeding the previous men's record. But even that does not get enough for 1st place, because newcomer Brett Dunkerbeck smashes Jenna de Ronay's 1984 record by nearly 7 knots, recording an incredible 33.77 knots.
Yeah, I never went to a speed competition before. I only went to regattas with course racing, slalom and wave riding.
So, how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 15 years old.
So, I think the only other world champion that was world champion at 15 was Robbie Nash. Are you going to become the ladies' Robbie Nash of world sailing?
I don't know.
Well, I hope you do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Julian Kendall, who dreamt up the event, joins the elite club of sailors who've broken 35 knots. He clocks 35.06, but that only gives him 14th position. Meanwhile, Bob Cunningham gets 35.30 knots and takes 13th place, which makes him the fastest resident Briton. Anthony Cotai of France at 35.34 knots takes him from 33rd to 12th in the world rankings, whilst Jean-Pierre Ciré from New Caledonia ups his speed by 4 knots with 35.41, but drops 5 places to 11th in the world. Frenchman Nelson Terrioteau occupies 10th place with 35.47 knots, while ex-world record holder Michael Puka ups his speed to 35.53 and drops to 9th position for his trouble. Bruno Pouget from France is in 8th spot with 35.54 knots. And America's own Captain Kirk Darrow beams up from 48th to 7th in the world list with a run of 35.58 knots. Keep taking the vitamins, Kirk. In 6th place is Dieter Bechtel, Germany's own werewolf, who howls down the course at 35.61 knots. But the next position in the world ranking is the only one that has not been established at this event. You've guessed it, Crossbow, which reduces the catamaran to a lowly 5th position. So let's look now at the 4 men that finally dealt that mighty blow to the 6-year-old record. Fred Haywood hits 36.13 knots, displaying sailing power that many think of as invincible. The biggest shock of the event, and nobody's more surprised than he, is ace shaper Hawaii's own Jimmy Lewis, who, with a superb run of 36.31 knots, went from 24th to 3rd in the rankings ahead of his partner Haywood. Eric Beale, who sails for Britain but in truth is the most international person you could ever hope to meet, achieves his dream of breaking through the 26-second barrier. But out in front, by a clear 2 knots, is Pascal Maka, who clocks an incredible 38.86 knots, which for the uninitiated is 44 miles per hour or 72 kilometers per hour. So will Maka's superb record stand as long as Crossbow's? Or will some other craft like the windsurfing tandem of Serge Greisseman and Bertin surpass him? This French pair, in just 6 months, have extended the tandem record by an unprecedented 10 knots to 35.06. A windsurfer, in the form of a tandem, first entered the speed sailing arena in 1976. In that time, it's eclipsed every craft that ever ventured onto the water. But now the word is out that Crossbow has dusted down for her comeback, and there are a dozen different wingcraft powered by kites, solid wings, and even by gliders that are all convinced that Pascal Maka's 38.86 knots is a mere drop in the ocean.